परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. ओम ओम ओम. Now nachasti shastra jnana badhakam. Today is Sugama day. Okay, so there is no shastra jnanasya badha. Siddhanti told what shastra says cannot be negated by any other pramana because it is a swatantra. What shastra speaks is totally independent of any other pramana. Therefore, it stands unnegated. If shastra says that's right, straight away right, and remains unnegated. To this, Purvapakshi says, though it is not negated, ನಿರ್ಜನ ಪ್ರದೇಶ ಸ್ಥಿತ ತೈಮರಿಕ ಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ ಮಿಥ್ಯಾಸ್ಯಾದಿತ್ಯುಕ್ತಂ. ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಪೂರ್ವಪಕ್ಷ ಆರ್ ಸಿದ್ಧಾಂತ? ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಿನಿಟ್. ನಚಾಸ್ತಿ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ಬಾಧಕಂ ನನು ಬಾಧಾಭಾವೇಪಿ ನಿರ್ಜನ ಪ್ರದೇಶ ಸ್ಥಿತ ತೈಮರಿಕ ಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ ಮಿಥ್ಯಾಸ್ಯಾದಿತ್ಯುಕ್ತಂ ನ ವೈಷಮ್ಯಾತ್. ಯುಕ್ತಂ ತತ್ರ ಜ್ಞಾತೃತ್ವಸ್ಯ ಅನುವೃತ್ತೇರ್ದ್ವೈತಜ್ಞಾನಸ್ಯ ಬಾಧಿತತ್ವಾತ್ ತಚ್ಚಂದ್ರದ್ವಿತ್ವಜ್ಞಾನಸ್ಯ ಶಂಕಿತ ಮಿಥ್ಯಾತ್ವಂ. I told you is all confusion. It's all further confusion. Mithyatvam is not of Jagat. He says Advaita Mithyatvam. If you keep this in mind, then you will understand. This is Purvapakshi. Purvapakshi says Advaita Mithyatvam. Advaita Jnana that is born of Shastra. Born means the Shastra reveals by negating Dvaitam. Advaita Shastra, Advaita Jnana Mithya means negating Dvaitam is Mithya. Then Advaita Jnanam remains Satyam. This is what Siddhanti says. Siddhanti says Dvaitam can be falsified and Advaitam stands unnegated. Now Purvapakshi says, even if you cannot negate Advaita, that means we have no pramana to disprove your Advaita, yet Advaita is wrong. That is the thing. Advaita is wrong, though we cannot see who is taking stand of whom. Advaita is mithya. Here this argument is a very strange argument. So even though we cannot contradict, see what a strange logic. We cannot, it is something like, we cannot disprove you, yet you are wrong. This is a very strange argument these days, is very common. We cannot disprove you. What you say is true. We cannot disprove you, yet you are wrong. Why? Possible. Possible. Anybody can be wrong, therefore you are wrong. It's possible. See, this is the way. They show some event, some example somewhere, therefore you also must be wrong. We cannot disprove you, yet you are wrong. This is the very nice, very interesting argument. I think I'll note down. I myself will forget my arguments. Purvapakshi says, we cannot disprove, yet you are wrong. We cannot disprove The Advaita that is revealed by... See, this is a very interesting point. Shruti says Tattvamasi. When Shruti says Tattvamasi, there is nothing to deny this Shruti's meaning. There is nothing to contradict, nothing to deny. Your Anubhava doesn't deny. Yukti doesn't deny. Shruti doesn't deny. Deny, disprove means only true. Shruti Vakya doesn't. Shruti, Yukti and Anubhava. Shruti, Yukti and Anubhava. These three cannot contradict. Okay? Cannot contradict. Contradicting means disproving. Cannot contradict or disprove. He says, yet you are wrong. How? This is a very strange logic. When you cannot disprove, how can you say that it is wrong? Advaita cannot be disproven, yet you are wrong. Show directly. Does it make any sense? When you cannot disprove, then that's what it is. He says very peculiar logic. He says, there is a person who is suffering from cataract. There is a person, Purvapakshi is continuing. Okay, Siddhanti answers later. Jna Bada Bhavepi Nirjana Pradeshasya Taimirika Jnanavan Mityasyat Nirjana Pradeshasita Taimirika Jnana. A person who is suffering from cataract lives in a far remote place where there is no another person. There is no other person at all. He is all alone, living in a forest or a cave or somewhere which is inaccessible to anybody. Now, when he is suffering from cataract, cataract means cataract or some kind of a defect in his eye. Let us say some congenital defect. Cataract is not a right word. I think Swamiji is calling it a Taimirika dosha. I think Taimirika should be interpreted not as a cataract. Taimirika not as a cataract, some congenital eye defect we have to say. Congenital means what? By birth. A person who has got a eye defect right from birth and he lives all alone in that forest. So, and right from childhood he is seeing only that. He is seeing second moon right from childhood. And I think he was a small boy at the time, and then there was no chance to discuss with his mother, and mother or father passed away, and thereafter he has been living all alone. These are all imagined. See, for imagined, he cannot disprove your Anubhava directly, but he wants to prove as imaginary. With an imaginary example, imaginary thing, which is also impossible, but for arguing sake, anything is possible, I tell you. Anything is possible. People argue like this. These days, this kind of argument has been increasing. Anyway, let us see how he argues it. So, you are suffering from some congenital eye defect. So, in your childhood, you are seeing two moons. You thought that your mother is also seeing two moons, but you never asked. You told, 2 moons, you told. And then your mother, okay, child is telling, why should I contradict? Mother remained silent. Mother remained silent. Later, okay, let him enjoy 2 moons. Probably he's just out of fun, he's telling. Mother did not know that he is suffering from congenital defect. I am adding up all this, cooking up the story. Swamiji did not say. Swamiji simply told he is suffering from Taimirika dosha. Taimirika literally means some Timira dosha, a cataract-like dosha. I am translating it as a congenital defect. And his mother and father were there. They also enjoyed his seeing 2 moon, and they didn't contradict him. They just allowed the child to think like that. Probably at the age of 8 or 10 o'clock, at the age of 10, I think both of them passed away. He remained there alone. 8 or 10 or 12, we don't know. Some imaginary story anyway. So, thereafter he started living all alone, and he has been thinking that moons are 2. I think I have to add up because this looks too artificial. How can a boy of 10 or 12 years old lives all alone in a forest, and that too in a cave, and no human touch can remain? No human society will live with him. I am adding up. Probably some people will come, or he will go to somebody in daytime. Only in the evening he will go back to his home alone. He will go back to his home alone and lives alone there. And all other people, only daytime he is in touch with them. Night, nobody lives, he lives alone. When he sees the moon as two. So right from childhood he has been seeing two, and in the night he was living alone. Other people will go away, or he will go away to his own house where nobody else lives. So at that time, this all imaginary story, I already told you, for imaginary argument, it's an imaginary story. All this is nonsense, but Purvapakshi talks. For Purvapakshi, nonsense looks more sensible. These are the days nonsense looks more sensible, and what is logical is pervert. Hinduism is pervert and Abraham religions are more sensible. Communism is more sensible. Because your monotheistic God, hateful God, is more reasonable and sensible. And when you say everything is God, it looks very barbaric. Very barbaric. Hindus are most wicked people and barbaric and most pervert people for them. Because this is what the world is. So how the Christianity looks, Jesus looks as a perfect fact, perfectly true. Perfectly true, that's a no questionable, no question at all. This is the days of perversion. Very, very strange world we are living in. The so-called civilization is nothing but barbarism. Nothing but 100% barbarism. No thinking at all. Okay. So, that Purvapakshi questions, somehow I have imagined all this imaginary nonsensical story, but it is meaningful to him. Now, he sees in the night, he sees the second moon. And since the earlier he had a parents, but parents never corrected. Parents never corrected his thinking. And now he is all alone, grown-up fellow. There is nobody to correct his congenital defect. And right from childhood he is seeing two moons. Since there is nobody living with him in the night time to be able to correct his eyes, and he thinks that everybody is seeing two moons. Because I am seeing and everybody sees the two moons. Now, saying this, the Purvapakshi concludes, there is nobody to contradict him. No person having a healthy eyes along with him in the night. Therefore, he lives under that illusion that there are two moons. Now tell me, is the two moons wrong or not? Two moons is wrong. Two moons is obviously wrong. Though there is no person for him to correct his personal thinking. Similarly, you Advaitins are living among your own Advaitins, and you say that Advaita is right, Advaita is right. There is nobody for you to compare with all others. You are living among your own foolish Advaitins. Purvapakshi is telling foolish. Okay, I am not telling. Because they talk like that only. So you Advaitins are under illusion, under delusion. You think that there is nobody to contradict. And you say, I am contradicting. Advaita is Mithya. Advaita is Mithya, I am contradicting. There was nobody to tell you that Advaita is Mithya. Therefore, you started taking for granted. I am telling you, Advaita is Mithya. Who says? Purvapakshi. I think sometimes it is too foolishness, it is meaningless to argue. But anyway, Purvapakshi is a Purvapakshi. He argues any nonsense, and we have to understand how nonsense is nonsense. There lies the great wisdom. In spite of his highly intelligent nonsense it is. Intelligent foolishness. Okay, intelligently argued foolishness, defended, argued foolishness. Okay, so Pradesha sthita taimirika jnanavan mithya syadityuktam. Okay, Nirjana Pradesha sthita. When there is nobody to compare and contradict you, And you are thinking that you are continuing your illusion, and you think that Advaita is correct because nobody contradicted. And if you lived among the society, start living with others as, and we contradict your Advaita, therefore your Advaita is disproven. Since there is nobody to disprove, you think that Advaita is true. Even if Shastra says Advaita is true, we don't accept it. We cannot disprove it, but we'll reject it. See. Strange argument. Okay. Now, what is the Siddhanti's argument? Siddhanti's replies, na Vaishamya. Then no, you can't argue like that, because your very example is a dissimilar example. It doesn't fit in with our fact. The Advaita is a matter of our fact. You are giving an example, you are giving an illustration which is totally dissimilar. You take a dissimilar illustration, based upon the illustration you argue, and you think that you have disproven. You have dismissed it. Siddhanti says no. First thing is, you have taken a wrong example which doesn't fit in with what we are telling. Okay. How? Let us see. Yuktam tatra jnatruttvasya anuvritter dvaita jnanasya abadhitatvat chandradvitva jnanasya shankita mithyatvam jnatrutvasya anuvritter dvaita jnanasya abadhitatvat. See there, in your seeing a second moon, a person suffering from congenital eye defect has been seeing the second moon right from childhood. Okay. In that example, there is one factor, but that one situation, one condition, that condition cannot be compared with our condition. That's all. Conditions are too different. Therefore, your illustration doesn't help in dismissing Advaita. The whole condition is different. What is it? Let us tell you. In your example, in your illustration, your illustration is okay, accepted. Why? Jnatrutvasya anuvritte. There, in your illustration, the person is an individual knower, is a subject seeing an object. He lives in the experience of subject-object duality. The person who is seeing the second moon, he is a jnata, and the moon he is seeing is a jneya. Two moons he is seeing is a jneya. Jnatru-jneya dvaita is there. Jnatrutvasya anuvritte dvaita jnanasya abadhitatvat. There, that you are a jnatru and the two moons are gneyam, there the dvaitam continues. Dvaitam is continuing, you are seeing everything within dvaitam. Therefore, dvaita jnanasya abadhitatvat, where you are seeing the second moon within the dvaita, there is no way of correcting it. Because you are living within dvaita only. You have not seen dvaita nivrutti, elimination of dvaita. Therefore, there you could suspect that the moon could be wrong. Abhaditatvat chandradvitva jnanasya shankita mithyatvam. Therefore, the second moon could be possibly doubted, suspected mithya. The moon could be suspected mithya because you don't have another person to compare with. You don't have another person, because existence of another person is a possibility. Why possibility? It is a reality. Another person could exist. If you are living all alone in your home, that night after you marry, what happens? If you don't marry alone, this will be the problem. You marry, or somebody, your wife or husband, and somebody will be there. And when you say 2 moons, they will laugh at you. Where is the 2 moon? Hey, are you joking? They say. He says, no, I am not joking. I am saying 2 moon. No, it's not 2 moon. It's not 2 moon. There is only 1 moon. Oh, then he says, but 2 moon I have been seeing right from childhood. Then something is wrong with your eyes. Then ask another person. Then bring another person. 3, 4 people tell that there is only 1 moon. Oh, then he says something is wrong. When everybody is seeing 1 moon, why am I seeing 2 moons? Oh, something is wrong with my eyes. Therefore, he could suspect. Then he can go to the doctor and test it, and say, no testing, but this itself is enough. When you compare with all others, here you see there is a possibility of comparing with all others. Because others, there are people other than you. There are people other than you. And you also live in the dvaitam of subject-object duality. there is a possibility of other people to you. Therefore, you could compare. Though you don't have another people, you don't have other people with you, yet there could be a possibility of suspicion. Okay? Suspicion that the second moon could be false. At least that suspicion, there is a chance of suspicion. But here in Vedanta Jnanam, Mithyatva Samshayaha, Shankita Mithyatvam or Mithyatva Iha Punashastrena Jnatrutvasya Apanodanat. Here, Shastra is eliminating your very individuality. It is removing two. What is the two? Your subject-object duality. Once you eliminate your subject-object duality, you don't have other person. Once you give up the waking state and go to Sushupti, in your Sushupti standpoint, there is no second person to compare with your Sushupti. In your Sushupti, there is no Dvaitam. But can you say that no, there might be possibly Dvaitam? In my Sushupti, there is Advaitam, but probably in others' Sushupti, it could be Dvaitam. First thing is, there is no other. Okay. There is no other person in your Sushupti Anubhava. Okay. Or you can't say that this time I have slept, this time I find Advaita, but I may find Dvaita in another Sushupti. There is no another Sushupti. There is no another person. Okay. By negating all Dvaita, another person, another Sushupti, all this is meaningless. So, by negating everything directly, you stand in Advaita in your deep sleep. Similarly, your very subject-object duality is negated. When Shastra teaches you that you are Brahman, it removes you and it removes itself. Shastra or Guru, Shastra and Guru who are teaching you that you are Brahman, by eliminating your individuality, your individual listener, it negates the Guru, Shastra, Prapancha, all Dvaitam. It negates all Dvaitam and keeps you only Advaita, leaves out only non-dual experience of you. It removes your own individuality and there is nobody other than you. There is no world other than you, no people other than you, no states other than you. You are non-dual Advitiyam Brahman. Then where is the possibility of imagining there might be Dvaita and Advaita might be wrong? This might be, all these imagination, suspicions might be, all that might be, this might be, all this doesn't exist. There is no room for this might be, that might be. Because Advaita is not a state of your eyes. In your illustration, you told it is a condition of your eyes. So, in your non-dual state, there are neither eyes. Eyes means neither sense organs nor mind. Okay, neither sense organs nor mind. When the mind and sense organs are negated, very avidya is negated, it is your natural state. There is nothing to negate. If it was a condition of eyes, eyes could be negated. If it were a condition of mind, the mind, you can imagine that there could be another mind. Okay. If you had a condition of eyes, you could imagine you could have a better condition of eyes. If it is a condition of mind, you could imagine that I could have a better condition of my mind, improved condition of mind. Here, there is no mind and sense organs. So, when you are free from mind and sense organs, you are alone, non-dual, Swatasiddha Atma. You can't say, I could be better Swatasiddha Atma. In Swatasiddha, there is no better Swatasiddha and then lesser Swatasiddha. There is only Swatasiddha. There is no non-dual experience. When all Dvaita merges into you, gets negated in your non-dual Anubhava. Non-dual Anubhava cannot be further improved, shaken, disturbed, changed. Okay, non-dual is a state, non-dual is a natural experience of you, which can neither be further improved, changed, modified, or negated, or dismissed, or corrected. Because all corrections, improvement, changes, etc. exist within the condition of sense organs and mind. Okay, within the sense organs and mind alone, this kind of improvement, corrections, all this is possible. And there is another person you can compare with, or you could compare with your own another condition. your mind can have two conditions, the present condition and the improved mind, or the present sense organs or improved sense organs. You could have a better improved sense organs, condition of sense organs, the present sense organs and later improved sense organs. Okay. There is no sense organ at all, there is no mind at all. Where is the question of improved state of mind, improved state of sense organs? The Shastra is negating the various sense organs, mind, and you as a listener and he as a speaker. Shastra is the speaker, Shastra Guru. Shastra Guru as the speaker and you are the listener. Even the speaker listener also gets negated. There is only one non-dual, and this non-duality is not a result of some negation. See, non-duality is not a result of some negation. It is a self-existing fact. Note it. It is a self-existing fact. The negation doesn't bring about any improvement, any change in it. Not that before negation you are dual and after negation you became non-dual. It's not that a non-duality is not a result of some process. It is not an end point of one process. Note this, that Dvaitam is now, only after negating Dvaitam, Advaitam arrives. Advaita is not an arrival, is not an end point as a result of something. If Advaita was an end point resulting after negation of Dvaita, then presence of Dvaita will negate Advaita. Presence of Dvaita would have negated Advaita. Advaita is not a result. Advaita was not non-existent. Note it. Advaita was not non-existent during Dvaita. Even during Dvaita, Advaita was existing. Even after negation of Dvaita, Advaita exists. Advaita exists all along. It is a self-existing fact. Whether you are perceiving Dvaita or whether you have negated Dvaita, perception of the Dvaita, negation of Dvaita, both of them do not touch the self-existing Advaita. Note this, experience of Dvaita and negation of Dvaita, both of them do not touch your Advaita experience. Advaita experience is independent and natural and unnegatable. Okay, people think that Advaita, now Dvaita is existing, now Advaita will come at a later stage after negating Dvaitam. So Advaita is another state which is going to come as a result of negation of Dvaitam. That means it is in another state. Now presently there is no Advaita. Presently there is Advaita. After negating, Advaita will come. They think Advaita are two states. When the Dvaita is there, Advaita is not there. Advaita will arrive later after negating Dvaita. This is also wrong. Okay. So, Dvaita negation, Dvaita is due to avidya. So, avidya, why do we call avidya? See, why do we call it mithya? Why do we call Dvaitam as mithya? Why do we call Dvaitam as mithya? Why do we call Dvaitam is due to avidya? Why not we say Dvaitam is and later Advaita comes? Dvaitam is also true, Advaita is also true. There are some people say Dvaitam is also true, Advaitam is also true. Because Dvaitam is a matter of experience. When Advaita comes, Advaita also will be matter of experience. Therefore, both are true. Why not? We have improved over Shankara's Siddhanta. Shankara told only Advaita is true, Dvaitam is not true. But we have improved over Shankara's Siddhanta. Ours is a Neo-Vedanta, Neo-Advaita. Some people say we have improved over your Advaita. Nice. Do you see this? Ours is a Neo-Vedanta, Neo-Advaita. We have improved over your Advaita. Shankara's Advaita says that now Shankara's Advaita says, for Shankara Advaita, Dvaita necessarily have to be mithya. Dvaita has to be mithya, then only Advaita will be true. For Shankara's Advaita, Dvaita has to be mithya. I tell you, we are Neo-Advaitins, Neo-Vedantins. We have improved over Shankara's Vedanta. Shankara's was a old Vedanta, old Advaita. Ours is an improved Advaita. We say Dvaita is also true, Advaita is also true. Yenappa, Dvaita is also true, Advaita is also true. There is no Mithya at all. In our Neo-Advaita, there is no Mithya. Everything is Satyam. This looks very attractive as long as you don't think. Or as long as you blind follower. You don't think this looks right. Okay. Now let us see how it is wrong. Just now I already told you. Advaita, see, in their argument, when Dvaita is also true, when Dvaita is experienced, Dvaita is true. When Advaita is experienced, Advaita is true. That means when you are experiencing Dvaita, there is no Advaita. Okay? According to them, when you are experiencing Dvaita, Dvaita is true means what? Advaita is not there. Advaita has to come at a later stage. Later stage, on negating Dvaita alone, Advaita will come. On negating Dvaita, that means Advaita is a result. Advaita is an end point of doing something. So, when there is Advaita, Advaita is not there, according to them then. When there is Dvaita, Advaita is not there. So, Dvaita is true. After negating Dvaita, Advaita will come. Then Advaita is in another state. They think that their improvement, they have improved over Shankara's Advaita. But you see how it is wrong. Then we say Advaita is there all the time. Even while you are experiencing Dvaita, Advaita is there. Therefore, while experiencing Dvaita, Advaita is there, your Swatha Siddha Anubhava. Even after negating Dvaita, Advaita is there. While experiencing Dvaita or whether negating Dvaita, in both the conditions, Advaita is Swatha Siddha. Therefore, if Advaita is all along self-existing fact, okay, Advaita is all along is a self-existing fact. If your Sushupti is Advaita all along existing, we generally think that, I again go back, I'll tell you that point later. Go back, they think that now waking is real. After you go to sleep, non-duality, Sushupti is real. Okay, now the waking is real. After you go to sleep, sleep is real, Advaita is real. Sleep means Advaita. So they say Dvaita is also real, sleeping is also real, and then Dvaita is also real. Therefore, in waking state you are experiencing Dvaita, it is real. When you go to Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Advaita is real. Advaita is also real, Dvaita is also real. Therefore, you toggle between them, Advaita and Dvaita. Our Guru has discovered that he is more than Shankara's Advaita. He says you can toggle between Dvaita and Advaita. Okay? In Nirvikalpa Samadhi, you go to Advaita, again you descend. And then moreover they say, see, Shankara Advaitins, once they go to Advaita, they can't come to Dvaita. Dvaita is Mithya for them. For us, Dvaita is not Mithya. Dvaita is real. We can descend. By helicopter we'll go to Advaita, Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Afterwards we can descend to Dvaita. Only few people can descend. Those who have got helicopter alone can descend. Our Guruji can descend. Your Shankara cannot descend. Or your Shankara followers, once you go to Advaita, you can't come to Dvaita. Okay, because for you Dvaita is Mithya. Dvaita is Satyam. All the time Satyam means, Advaita is Satyam. Therefore Dvaitam cannot be Satyam for you. For them they say Dvaita is a one state, Advaita is another state. Dvaitam is also real, Advaita is a real. We toggle between the two. That is our great Neo-Advaita, Neo-Vedanta. Okay? English, I generally call it English medium Vedanta. It is all English medium Neo-Vedanta. So here the defect is, if you say Dvaitam is real, Advaita is not there now, it has to come. It becomes another exclusive. Advaita becomes exclusive. Then at the time of Dvaita, Advaita doesn't exist. It has to come at a later stage. Then that is not Advaita. If Advaita has to come at a later stage, that is not Advaita. Then Advaita is Swatha Siddham. It is all along there. Even while experiencing Dvaita, Advaitam is there. Shankara's teaching is Upanishad. Shankara means Upanishad only. Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, Shankaracharya. Even while experiencing Dvaitam, you are Advaitam in your core. That means Dvaita need not be, even before negating Dvaita, you are already Advaita in your near Swarupam. Even before you negate Dvaitam, even before negating Dvaitam, you are Advaita. Even after negating Dvaitam, you are Advaita. This is Shankara Vedanta. For them, Dvaita is real at the time of Dvaita, and Advaita is another experience, it has to come separately. And from there you descend to Dvaita, from helicopter. From helicopter you descend. Again you go to Dvaita and come back to Dvaita. This is called toggling between up and down. Toggling or escalator, I don't know what they call. Go and down, Advaita is also correct, Dvaita is also correct. You can go up and down. That means Advaita is one, Dvaita is another. This becomes Dvaita only. When you say Dvaita is one and Advaita is another, this becomes another Dvaita in the name of Neo-Advaita. Okay. What Shankaracharya says is, the Swata Siddham Brahma, even while appearance of Dvaita, there is already Advaita. Therefore, your appearance of Dvaita and the negation of Dvaita, both of them don't affect your being Advitiyam. Sushupti is not a state, you have to get it after negating waking state. I tell you, even while you are waking, you are Sushupti. Even while you are waking, you are already Sushupti. Sushupti is you. Sushupti is not another state you are going to reach. You are not going, you are Sushupti. Within your Sushupti, Jagrat is only a false appearance like a snake upon the rope. Therefore, Dvaitam has to be Mithya. When we say Mithya, in this sense Mithya, if you don't say Dvaitam is Mithya, that means if Dvaitam is not Mithya, then there is no Advaitam, there will be only Dvaitam. Okay, so Dvaitam has got to be Mithya. That means even while experiencing Dvaitam, you are in the core, in your Anubhava, there is already Advaita standing as a bottom of it. Advaita is unnegatable. Dvaitam is only a tentative appearance, superficial appearance. Then that's what we say, even while experiencing waking state, you are Advaitam. You are Sushupti. You alone, all alone is Sushupti. In your Anubhava of Advaita, there is no Dvaitam, there is no waking state. Waking is not a state for you. Because you are Advitiyam, you are Sushupti. To the Sushupti, there has never been a waking. To the Sushupti, that is you alone. That which is Advaita, there never was waking state. Waking state is only from the waking state, but to your Swarupa, there was never a waking state. Therefore, even while you are awake, even while you are seeing Dvaitam, Advaita remains underlying Swarupa. Okay. Then after negating Dvaita, whether Dvaita or negating Dvaita, both are Adhyasta within Brahman. Appearance of Dvaita, negating of Dvaita, both are Adhyasta within Brahman. Brahman is all along there. In this sense, Dvaita has to be Mithya. Therefore, when we say Dvaita Mithyatvam, it only means Advaita is eternity. Advaita is self-existing fact. Advaita is not an another state you are going to arrive at a later stage after negating Dvaitam. See, Advaita is not going to come at a later stage, it is an ever-existing fact. Sushupti is not a particular state after negating waking. Sushupti is there even now. Sushupti is not a state of you, Sushupti is you. Another name for you. You don't attain an another state. It is not a state of you, it is yourself. You alone is Sushupti, non-dual. Sushupti is an empirical name, worldly name for yourself. You all alone, you, where there is no waking. Why? Why there is no waking? Because there is no waking, that's all. Waking is a kalpitam, it never existed. Waking neither existed before, nor it is now, nor it will ever be later. It is not that waking existed at one time and later disappears. See, the presence of waking, appearance of waking and negation of waking, both are kalpitam in your nature of Advitiyam. Okay. In your nature of non-duality, that is deep sleep. Your nature means you, all alone you. In your nature of non-duality, appearance of waking and negation of waking, both are kalpitam. Both are adhyasta upon you. Now, do you understand Shankara's Advaita? They think that they have improved over Shankara's Advaita. The first thing is they have to understand what Shankara told. After understanding Shankara's Advaita, you can think of whether you can transcend or you can correct him, improve him, or dismiss him. They are unable to understand. They live in Dvaita and talk anything. Talk something which is too childish. Okay, therefore, the appearance of Dvaita doesn't negate. See, appearance of ornament doesn't negate gold. If a gold is appearing in a chain, appearance of chain, does the chain negate the gold? Does the wave negate water? Or do you say that after waves disappear alone, water arrives? After waves disappear, water arrives. Until then, there is no water, there is only wave. Waves are real. Only when the waves are removed, then water comes. Can you say that? You can't say that. Even while the waves are appearing, water is there, because waves don't exist. Waves are only appearance, there is no waves. There are no waves, it is only appearance. So similarly, ornament goes, then only gold comes. Ornament has to go for the gold to arrive. Okay, then from the gold to ornament and ornament to gold, you keep on toggling. What is this toggling? From water to wave and wave to water, you keep on moving. Okay, from water to wave, when you come, what did you do? You left water and came to wave. Do you leave water when you come to wave? I am asking you. When you come to wave, in order to come to wave, do you have to leave water? See, from the total space to part space, from the total space to part space, do you have to leave the space to come to part space? Or from the part space, you have to go back to the total space? Is total space is in another place? Part space is one place and total space is another place. From one place to another place you are moving? Then that's called Dvaita. They say, yes, this is one space, one place, one location. From this location you go to another location. There are no two locations. There are no two aspects. Okay? Water is one aspect. Wave is another aspect. They are not two aspects. Water is water. Waves are included in water. Wave, that's why wave as a wave doesn't exist. It is only a false appearance. This is what mithya means. Wave itself is not an entity in addition to water. Wave is not an entity in addition to water. It is not an existence in addition to water. There is only one existence which includes everything. It is a one existence that includes everything. There is no additional wave. See, when you are seeing wave, you don't have to descend from water. You are in water and water is natural. Neither you can ascend to water nor descend from water. Ascending, descending is at the level of wave. From the standpoint of level, you imagine ascending, descending. From the water level of from the standpoint of wave, you imagine ascending, descending. But ascending, descending, both are imaginations within the water. Water is throughout. So you neither descend from water nor ascend to water. You are water. Similarly, you are pure existence. From your non-dual pure existence, neither you descend nor you ascend. Ascending, descendings are imaginations in one pure existence. Okay. In one pure existence, there is neither ascending nor descending. Ascending, descending is only in duality. Duality is only an imagination. Therefore, that imagined duality of two places. See, ascending, descending require two places, two times, two periods of time or two levels. All these levels of ascending, descending are kalpitam, because non-duality is a continuous self-existing fact. Non-duality is a self-existing fact. It is an ever-existing fact. Therefore, from there is no moving out. There is no such thing called out. There is no coming down. There is no such thing called down and up. Down and up are imaginations within the same pure existence. In the pure self-existence, ever-existing fact of Brahman, all these up and downs are purely imaginations. Therefore, we call mithya. This is what mithya. Mithya word, you leave it. You see this experience. And once you understand that experience, that's what we called mithya. Word mithya comes later. Don't jump to the word first. First you understand the experience itself. Therefore, sushupti is not coming as a result of removing waking. Even before you remove the waking, there is Sushupti. Sushupti, see, for example, I tell you simple example. Here is one hand. Okay? To put in the place of the hand, you have to put the pen in place of hand. You can't put in place of hand. You can put the pen over the hand. So if you want to put in place of the hand has to be removed. Okay? Hand has to be removed, then only you can place the pen in the same place. So when the pen comes, it has to displace the hand. Hand has to be removed and the pen has to come. This is natural. When the hand is, pen can't exist at the same place. When the pen comes, hand cannot exist in the same place. So in the place, either hand or pen. One of them can exist. Two can't exist simultaneously, because one has to replace the other. This is one example. Take another one. Now, when the hand comes, does it replace the space? Hand has come. Does it replace the space? Hand comes within the space. It doesn't replace the space. Just as the pen has replaced the hand, here the hand doesn't have to replace the space. The hand comes in the space, hand leaves in the space. Space is throughout existing all along. Okay, so space cannot be replaced. Wave cannot replace water. Ornament cannot replace gold. Within the gold, ornament appears, ornament disappears. Okay, gold remains throughout. Ornament appears, disappears in the gold alone. Similarly, wave appears, disappears within the water alone. From the level of water, there is no wave apart from it. There is no wave and absence of wave. The presence of wave and absence of wave, both are water only. For the water, neither there is a wave neither the presence of wave nor absence of wave. Neither there is an appearance of wave nor disappearance of wave. Appearance, disappearance, both are water. For the water, neither exists. So this is called mithya. Okay. Therefore, jagat and absence of jagat, vyakta and avyakta, both are kalpitam in the pure existence of Brahman. For the Brahman, there is neither world nor disappearance of the world. Okay. Therefore, they say that there is Advaitam, and Advaitam has to go away for Advaitam. Advaitam doesn't have to go away. Advaitam doesn't have to go away for Advaitam. Advaitam is there independent of Dvaitam's going and not going. Dvaitam appearing, unappearing, appearing, disappearing, both do not affect it, because Advitiyam is independent of appearance and disappearance of Dvaitam. Okay. Appearance, disappearance, both of them don't exist for Advitiyam. Advaitam is self-existing, independently existing, and it alone is, there is neither appearance nor disappearance. Dvaitam itself doesn't exist apart from Advaitiyam. There is no such thing called Dvaita. This is called Mithya. Okay. Purvapakshi thinks that Dvaitam is something which has to arrive. By removing Dvaitam, Advaita has to arrive. Then they put as Advaitam, Dvaitam as two. Then they argue. The problem is, they don't, they say, and then, so this is a Purvapakshi, is not Advaitin, he is an non-Advaitin. But among some Advaitins also, they talk like this: see, we are in Dvaita, and we go to Nirvikalpa Samadhi is Advaita. From Advaita you descend, you come down to Dvaita level, again you go down to, you go up to Advaita level. If you leave Dvaita and go to, then Advaita is another state other than Dvaita. That means there are two. Advaita is one state, Dvaita is another state. But what Shankara says is Advaita is not a state. Okay, the idea of state itself is Adhyasa, Kalpita. It is wild imagination. So the very idea of two states itself is Adhyasa, itself is Mithya. The very idea of two states is Mithya. So the Advaita itself is not a state. It is complete, perfect, eternal existing and ever existing. And there is neither, therefore, neither Dvaita nor disappearance of Dvaita. Both are not meaningless for Advaita standpoint. Advaita is not a standpoint. That is the only universal fact. That is the only fact So this way we have to negate Dvaitam. When we say negating Dvaitam, we are not putting Dvaitam one place and going to another place. Dvaitam itself has no meaning. Where is Dvaitam? The thought of Dvaitam itself melts away for non-existing it. Now tell me, where is water? Where is wave? Once you understand water, what is wave? There is no such thing called wave at all. Vacharambanam, except to name, there is no wave at all. Water alone you are calling by another name. That's all. It is only a name. There is no such thing called wave at all. There is no such thing called Dvaitam at all. There is no such thing called world at all. There is only one Brahman, and throughout that. So this point has to be understood well. I think time is up. I have taken. We will discuss it in the next class. I hope this point has made you clear how Purvapakshis misunderstand. Okay, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.